Hi, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to the Let's Keep Moving with Risha podcast. This is Risha. I'm a motivational speaker, content creator, and I love talking about things that will help you keep moving in your life, especially on areas like your life, mental health, love, growth, and everything in between. So if you're ready, without further ado, let's keep moving. Today's episode is so exciting and so personal, and I feel like I've been wanting to share this with everybody, but I guess I right now is just the right time, or I guess this is where I feel like it's the right time to share about it. But I know it's way past Valentine's, but during those times kasi I chose not to talk about it. Well, I haven't been talking about relationships for a long time now. I think I only talked about relationships thrice back in the past, which I feel like isn't about relationships, to be exact, or positively about that. But I think the first one was how to fully move on from the past. Second is about heartbreak yata. And maybe some stuff in the Sagada retreat or Sagada travel, solo travel. I think that's just those times na parang nakikipag conversation ako dito sa podcast ng about relationships. But right now, yeah, I want to talk about it. I feel like I'm ready. And like what I said, I know it's way past Valentine's. I chose not to talk about it though, but I guess I just took some time to think about it and take some time off to share that part of me. And now that I think na I have given myself enough time and I've given myself permission to feel whatever I want to feel during those past few months, then I feel like I'm ready. Paulit-ulit. But I've been reading your message about what happened. I've been reading your comments on TikTok about what happened. I've also been receiving some messages about what is really going through in the relationship. And I guess during that time, I was very vulnerable. Like, I know that if I share, I might share a lot or I might share too much. And I know I can be a little biased. So I chose not to share any specific details or confirmation about it. But yeah, officially, I know that this is a safe space. I know that this would not be a place of hate or anything, but I know that my stories with you are safe. So, yeah, my relationship of 7 years went through some rough patch last year. And I'm sharing this because during this moment, we're currently fixing the relationship and we're on that journey right now through the people that we love, through our support system, through the community that we were a part of, through our families, through God, most importantly. And the reason why I feel safe or okay in sharing this is because I think I'm not sharing too much. I'm just sharing the lessons afterwards. And I want this community to be that, to be a community where, we don't hate anymore or we don't hate people anymore. We we don't talk about it because that's something so personal. But I want this space talaga na more of ano ba yung natutunan ko sa nangyari. Ano yung ipinarealize sa akin ng mga taong yon. Ano yung pinarealize sa akin ng mga nangyari, ng sitwasyon. And that's what I want to focus in today's episode. Yes, my relationship of almost 7 years went through some rough patch last year. I might have given people some hint about it, but I did not confirm anything. I have no responsibility to do that. It's not like I'm a big public figure, what? And I believe I handled the situation pretty well. I really did. And I think even before, I've been sharing about it, sharing lessons like what I said. But since then, since those seasons, since last year, I really learned a lot. Not just in healing in general, but in the relationship. I think I talked about healing a lot of times in the podcast about how I am through healing again. But I haven't shared so much, or I guess I haven't shared enough about relationship because yun nga, feeling ko I have a lot to learn in relationships. But I guess I just want to share what is working for me, what worked for the past few months, and hopefully you'll see the sense of why I'm sharing this, and I hope you get some inspiration from this one. You know, even if you're not in a relationship, even if you are going through some tough time, this will work for you no matter where you are, what situation you are in. The lessons that you'll find here will for sure be valuable. Even if you did not get your heart broken, even if you are still a student, even if you have been single for years, these lessons will surely resonate with you. And I hope that I get to have this conversation until the end of the episode. So, I'll be sharing more about what are the things na sana mas nalaman ko ng mas maaga. Na sana mas nalaman ko ng mas maaga para hindi sana nangyari yung biggest nightmare ko. But I know it happened, but yeah, what are the things I wished I learned sooner? Specifically the lessons na really, really affected the relationship. So if you're curious to know, I know that most of you guys are following me on my social media accounts. You know who the other person might be involved in, but I don't want you guys to hate people. I want this to be a space where we can move forward because I love this person so much. I have respected the people involved, and hopefully, you are in this journey with me and you get where I am. So, I'm excited for this episode. I feel like this is the first time that I would be so happy and really grateful that I'm sharing this part of me with you. So, if you're ready, I feel like our introduction has been so long and you're excited to learn what else I can share. If you're ready to know what are the lessons I wish I knew early in a relationship, then without further ado, let's keep moving. By the way, before we ever get started on this exciting episode, if you are watching this episode before March 29, 2025, then I have an exciting announcement for you. I know 2025 got us all off guard, and if you're feeling a little lost or overwhelmed about where your life is heading this year, then this is for you. I will be hosting a live 3-hour quarterly review session this March 29, 2025, where I'll personally guide you through a step-by-step process to reflect, recalibrate, and create an execution plan for the next 90 days, or let's say Q2 of 2025. No more excuses. This is your chance to reset and take action. I've been wanting to host this for the longest time, and finally, we're conducting this online so everybody gets to attend. I want this to be the best experience for everybody. So this March 29, we will be covering a lot of amazing stuff, like how do you review what's working and not working on your life and on your business or whatever you're doing? How do you set clear and realistic goals for Q2? Yes, just for Q2. And how do you create an action plan that you'll actually follow? And of course, we will be including live coaching, an ebook, and an access to the replay. It's only for an affordable price, and trust me, this is the most valuable 3 hours that you'll invest in yourself this quarter. This is only going to be for a limited number of people, so make sure you grab your spot now at the link below. And this is the most exciting part. The first 10 people who get to register will get a 50% discount. You just have to check the discount code below. I'll see you there, and let's make your next 90 days the best quarter yet. Let's get back to the episode. This is what I've been writing, okay? So first is, this is one of the hardest truths that I wish I had learned sooner or that I had known sooner. There is a part of myself that was responsible for creating or attracting that relationship. I know that it's never valid to justify or rationalize people's wrong behaviors or obvious mistakes. Any behavior caused to hurt people is not valid. Again, any behavior caused to hurt people is not valid. I don't care if Your childhood is like this. I don't care if you experience this, but that's not valid. That's not in any way valid. And I don't want to rationalize or justify it. But I was there during those 7 years. I was a part of the relationship. Therefore, I know for sure I was partly responsible then for what happened during those late years, even if I didn't do anything wrong. And that's the hardest thing na natutunan ko, na sana mas maaga kong nalaman. Na whatever is happening in the relationship, no matter, no matter what is the situation, kahit isa lang yung may gawa niyan, kahit isa lang yung may characteristic or habit na ganyan, there is a part of you that was responsible for creating or attracting that relationship. It is no accident that you attracted that relationship. It is no accident that you attracted that person. It is no accident that you attracted a narcissist. It is no accident that you attracted that person. It is no accident that you attracted a relationship that abused you. It is no accident that you attracted a relationship that is not gentle, that is abusive. I'm not saying this is your fault. That's the least thing I want for you to realize. No, what I'm saying is there's a language of the soul. There's a language roaming around the universe that we don't get to see, but we get to understand. The reason why you got together is because it's for the better. It's for you to realize that maybe you're not meant to be together. Maybe it's for you to realize na baka hindi yun yung gusto ko and therefore I get the option and the choice to leave. You get what I mean? Na even if it was a bad relationship, even if it was a bad opportunity, you attracted that opportunity. You attracted that job. You attracted that relationship. You attracted that man. You were partly responsible for what happened to you. And I'm not blaming you. It's just that it happened. But as for me, as for what happened to my life or to that season of my life, during that season, which was just last year, the most evident and obvious response and reasonable behavior is to be angry, to get revenge, to shame people, to get even, to be bitter, and to leave. Like, that's the most obvious response. Like, I do not deserve that. Like, grabe, Risha na to. Like, that's the most obvious response. That's the most obvious behavior. But I didn't go this far in this whole self-developmental work to not know better. I knew at that time I was being tested. I knew at that time I have to listen to my core. I knew at that time that both of us in the relationship were tested, were being tested. What if this is what it takes to be on the other side of it? What if I get to decide? Pero Miss Resha, Ate Resha, unreasonable yun eh. Hindi dapat ginawa yun sa'yo eh. Unforgivable yun eh. Does that mean you're blaming yourself, Ate Resha? Does that mean you're allowing this person to stay in your life? No one, absolutely no one deserves what happened to me. That's why my message would always be, I hope you don't do that again. Like, that's my biggest prayer. But I was there during those 7 years. And I was a part of it. So I get to decide. And I acknowledge that I might have missed some parts of it. Na baka nagkamali ako. Na baka nagkulang din ako. Which I would talk about later for sure. But I was listening to this podcast from the School of Greatness. It was a great podcast. I don't usually share. I get so picky when it comes to podcasts because that's like 1.5 hour of my life. So it has got to be worth it. So I was listening to this podcast episode in the School of Greatness podcast by Louis Hose, and the guest is Danny Morel. And it stuck with me. You are the creator of it all. You are the victim or the creator of your life. You are either the victim or the creator of your life. And when we're living in a victim mindset, I want you to listen to this carefully. We're constantly calling in or attracting the right people, the right opportunities, the right relationships to keep us in the victim mindset. Again, I'm going to repeat this for everybody's sake. If you are constantly living in the victim mindset, you are calling in opportunities, the right partner, the right relationships, the right opportunities to keep you in the victim mindset. And isn't that powerful? Now you are the creator of it all. You are partly responsible for that relationship, even if you didn't do anything wrong. And when you think of it that way, you have so much power in that. It means that if you were the creator of it all, ibig sabihin, kaya mo ding baguhin yan. If you believe you are the creator of it all, then for sure you can do something about it. And that's what I learned in this whole work. That's why I chose not to live there. That's why even if I looked like a victim, I chose not to live there. And hopefully to anybody listening today, to anybody who might be going through the same thing, relationship, life, partners, opportunities, experience, I hope you don't choose to live there. You don't choose to live in the victim mindset because you don't want to attract the opportunities that will keep you in that mindset forever. That's a great advice for a first point in an episode. But yeah, if you're currently finding value in today's episode, then please give us a 5-star rating. This episode, a 5-star rating, because in that way we get to attract more people who are the right people for this community. And your ratings and reviews help us reach more people. Like what I told you, we're a few couple, maybe a thousand or a few thousand streams away from 500,000 streams. And isn't that amazing, diba? We're just, I guess, 2 years in and we reach 500,000 streams. That's insane. Thank you. So give us a 5-star rating so we get to grow in this community together. The next lesson I wish I knew earlier in the relationship and in handling a relationship for someone who has been here for so long. Like the community, the Liberate community I was in last year, which is under or hosted and handled by the one and only Coach Libni. Sabi niya, you were in a relationship at 15? Ang aga ko pala nag-boyfriend, kala ko late na yon. Pero binigay ni Lord eh. I mean, joke lang. Pero, but what I realized, not just observing our relationship, but, well, I mean it in a way na, bigay talaga ni Lord ang relationships. Siyang nagbibigay niyan. But yeah, going back, one thing that I learned, I wish I learned sooner, or I wish I knew sooner, is that it's a continuous process of loving and forgiving. And both has to be present. And I didn't learn this from my relationship. I learned this from my parents' relationship. They have been married for almost 25 years. And I've seen those 25 years. I am the firstborn. I have seen how they grew in the relationship. And I've always been wondering what it takes for them to reach their 25th year together. They're always fighting. They're always fighting with each other. There's always a near separation experience. You know, these two people are the reason why I think I'm this empathetic and I'm this deep. You know, these people, I mean my parents, they've been constantly fighting when I was growing up. Kasi this is their first time becoming a parent. They got married at 22, I believe. 26. And yeah, it's the first time they became parents. And so they're just figuring it out. Tapos bigla kong na-realize na even if they were figuring it out, they lasted for 25 years and they're going strong. And I realized that it's a continuous process of forgiving and loving. And that's what relationship is for. That you have to accept that there are certain parts of your partner that you don't like. And you have to compromise and meet each other halfway. There is absolutely no perfect relationship. I thought there is. Because, like, the people I see online, they look perfect, they look amazing, they look like they're not experiencing problems, but they're absolutely not perfect. And they're going through some tough time. And during those moments, maybe last year, I thought there was a perfect relationship. I thought ours is a perfect relationship. And I hold the relationship on pedestal na parang feeling ko, I, we can reach that point. Na feeling ko, there would come a point that we would reach a certain level that we're perfect. That we don't experience problems, that we don't fight, that we just handle things maturely, which we did experience. And that really created so much problem in the relationship. And that I will talk about later. But I guess when you're in a relationship, you have to remove the pressure to forgive. Instead, go to the full extent of feeling the emotions present in your life. What do I mean by that? When you're there in a fight, remove the pressure to forgive. Pray about it, but allow yourself to feel that anger. Allow yourself to feel those emotions. And hopefully, you don't give it toward that partner. Ayaw naman natin na sinisigawan mo siya, sinasaktan mo siya or what. But you have other avenues dapat where you can express that emotions out. It could be sa pillow. It could be releasing there. It could be shouting to a room, an empty room. It could be going for a walk. It could be running. And there's a lot of other ways. And that's what I realized. You don't just love in a relationship. You forgive as well. Hindi pwedeng pure love lang. When it's pure love, it's scary. There has to be a balance of other things, like respect, boundaries, friendship, sadness, and even joy. The last lesson I wish I knew sooner in a relationship is that too much maturity is scary in a relationship. How much maturity nga ba is too much maturity? When we started in the relationship, we were just 15. I mean, we're so young. And it was normal that during those times, we carry so much trauma from childhood, from family. And it's true that you attract the same person with the same psychological bond that you have. However, the goal during those times is to mature and to grow in the relationship. And I think we went through so much. We went through senior high school, even if we're not in the same section, but same school. We went through college together. We went through family issues together. We went through so much that I felt like we matured in the relationship, and that's always been the goal. And somebody told me before na kapag na-reach nyo na daw yung near 7th year together, that's when the relationship get tested. And at that time, di ako naniniwala. Kasi, like, is that even true for a lot of couples? I mean, I think we're so matured for that. I don't think it ever happens. But I guess for us in that season, it was true. When you're in a relationship for a long time, there's this sense of achievement na we've come so far. Like, we can do it all. We're so matured. We grow in the relationship. We're happy. We're safe. We're at peace. We can go through everything. We were so matured in the relationship that I feel like people were kind of jealous of it because I heard stories. But I became so self-assured and so conceited that the relationship can take care of itself. Na grabe, hindi biro yung 7 years. Kaya namin to lahat. I became so overconfident and so conceited nga. And I thought the relationship can take care of itself. But it didn't. I thought that it's okay if it take hours before I reply, even if I can. Because we just trust each other and we're matured. I thought that it's okay if we don't know each other's whereabouts or specific details about each other because we trust each other. We're matured. I thought that it's okay if we don't call or update each other often because we trust each other. I thought that it's okay that he has red flag friends because I trust him. I thought that it's okay if he has close girlfriends or I have close boyfriends because we trust each other. I hope and I thought, no, not I hope. I thought that it's okay to not build boundaries because we trust each other. I became overly confident. And yes, we grew so much. We matured. And I realized that too much maturity is scary. Too much understanding is scary. Too much trust in a relationship is scary. It could put you in a season of stagnancy and complacency, and it might give off a sign to your partner that you don't care as much anymore. And I think that's what we felt in the relationship. So you don't want to be too matured. Sometimes one has got to be unreasonable to balance the dynamics of a relationship. To have that spark again, to create the opportunities for both of you to evolve, to develop in terms of character, and for both of you to make room for explanations and for growth, and for you to just continuously evolving. Ang hirap when you reached a certain point where you don't have rooms for growth anymore because you're too matured. I thought I looked up before, for sure. I looked up to couples who are so matured. I've seen celebrities do that and advocate for that. They're so mature, their partners are so understanding, their partners are so good at trusting them, at understanding their situation, to the point that I kind of emulate that. However, being in this relationship for 7 years made me realize that there has to be a sense of play. There has to be a sense of sometimes you've got to be unreasonable. Sometimes you've got to be immature. Sometimes you've got to be overacting or OA. You've got to keep that fun or that play, but of course not too much because walang character development. But what I'm saying is you have to keep on evolving. You have to keep on knowing each other. You have to keep trying. You have to keep getting to know each other. You have to keep starting conversations, even uncomfortable ones. That is what I've seen in a lot of successful marriages. I may not always admire my parents for having the best relationship or for having the best marriage because I think they can do better. But what I admire over their years of being together, and I've seen it, is how they have practiced these three things. That first, I realized that there is a part of both of them that attracted each other. I realized that. We have talked about that. Second, I realized that marriage, successful relationships, it's a process. It's a continuous process of loving and forgiving. And if you don't know how to follow the latter, then you should try. Third is too much maturity in a relationship is scary. Too much understanding, too much trust, too much being at peace is scary in a relationship. You've got to fight sometimes, and some even do it all the time. And you've got to keep choosing each other every single day despite that. And there has to be compromise. There has to be an agreement on how you could meet each other halfway. Because I think that's what's currently happening. We're in the middle of figuring things out and forgiving each other and trying to rebuild the relationship with God now being at the center. And I'm a little proud of it because I know this may not be ideal for other people, but I feel supported by God, feel supported by the people I met in church. I feel supported by my family, by both their families, and I am supported by my community, and I take full accountability for wherever this is heading me. It may not be the best decision ever, but it's the best decision I want to do. And like what I told you, I take full accountability for wherever this decision is leading me. If this will work out, then great. I'm grateful. I prayed for it. That's the dream. But if it didn't, then I tried. And there would be no regrets because I know that I get to decide. I don't know what book I read this from, but as my closing part for this episode, choose a partner whom you can have thousands of conversations, because one of the key foundations of a lifelong marriage is conversation. Easy and hard conversations, the uncomfortable conversations. Your partner, who you vowed with to spend the rest of your life with, is your talking partner for life. You've got to be able to spend hours, hundreds, thousands of hours to spend or talk with this person. But I guess people get tired of each other after being together for a long time. When two people spend a lot of time together, it's normal to run out of things to talk about. It's normal to get used to the relationship. You know each other so much, so what else would you talk about, diba? You spend a lot of time together. You're together all the time. And it became a norm. The relationship became a norm. You got so used to it that there's no excitement. There's no other things to talk about. You just know each other. But I wonder what you're going to do about it. If you're currently in a relationship, or if you're looking forward to having one, if there would come a point that you find yourself that you got tired, you got used to the same person, if you really want to spend the rest of your life with this person, you can't be after just the fun. If you want to spend the rest of your life with this person, you can't be just after the easy conversations or the exciting ones. I wonder what you're going to do about it. I wonder what you're going to do about it when it's boring. I wonder what you're going to do about it when it's not working on your favor anymore. I wonder what you're going to do about it when it's stagnant and complacent and nothing's working. I wonder what you're going to do about it when it's not how you thought it would be. What conversations are you going to start doing? What hobbies are you going to start doing together? What topics will you open up? What dates are you going to try? What are the ways that you can bring that spark back again? I wonder what you're going to do about it. I was watching Martin Nievera's Tony Talk, and it's so insightful. According to Sir Martin, the biggest lesson he learned from marriage or relationship in general is that I will write mine and let other people write theirs. It's not for other people to define how you're going to make that relationship work. It's not for other people to set the standard on how you're going to fix that relationship. It's not for other people to decide how you're going to make it last. It's not for other people to judge on whether you're doing the right or wrong thing. It's for you. I'll write mine, you write yours. I hope this this conversation brings so much lesson to you. Even if you're not in a relationship, even if you're currently in one, even if you're just looking forward to having one, I hope you learned something, and hopefully you get inspiration from what I've experienced, because I kind of realized I was a tough one. But I guess that's my gift. I get to alchemize what's happening into my life, and I get to decide what I'm going to do moving forward. I'm so happy you're here, and I'm so happy that you're the person that I get to share this experience, this amazing experience of my life with. That's about it. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I can be a little emotional right now. It's just that I hit rock bottom during those moments of my life. I never thought I'd ever experience it. Because I talk about how to maintain healthy relationships. I talk about it online, and who on earth would expect that I would experience that type of struggle? Nobody. Not even my family. Not even anyone close to me. But I did. And I'm harboring the lessons I learned from what happened, and I guess it's the start of something even more beautiful, not just for me, but for the relationship moving forward. I hope you learned something. Thank you for being my safe space, and I'd love to know your thoughts. What's the best relationship advice someone gave you? Isn't that cool? What's the best relationship advice someone ever gave you? And for the poll, what spoke to you the most? Is it the first one? Is it the second? Or the third one? I can be a little biased, but I really love the last one. But yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend. Share it with a friend who might be going through the same thing. I always say that ever since the start of the year, ever since the start of the season. Share it with a friend who might need a little extra encouragement. Kasi whenever I hear a podcast and it reminds me of someone, I share it with the people I love. I share it with someone who might resonate with it. So if you have that energy, and if you have like 5 minutes or 2 minutes of your time, share it with someone who is going through the same thing and who might see this as light, and whose day would be brightened if they get to hear my voice. But yeah, hopefully you can also share your takeaways on social media. I'll do my best to reshare it on Instagram. And yeah, again, this has been your friend and your host, Risha. Know that I am grateful for you. I have always been, and I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you big time. I'll see you soon, and until then, don't forget to always keep moving. Bye.